Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. It is the last day of Black History Month, but as Miss Gail Dudley said, we are Black History 365 days of the year. As you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from, whether it's through Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. If you're an audio or podcast listener, we just want to say thank you for tuning in with us as you're getting ready to head into the workplace, drop the kiddos off at school, whatever the case may be. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tell a few friends about News in Motion. With that being said, let's get the show started.
What's up, everyone? It is time for News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley, and today is Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday, February the 28th, the last day of what they call Black History Month. But we are Black 365 days out of the year, as Isaiah has already shared. So I thought I would come on today and just be all Black. Black is, and just bring it in the way I see it. All the Black churches was doing the Black gear, or the HBCU, or the Divine Nine on this past Sunday. I thought here on News in Motion, I would come in with all my Black today to show my Blackness, because I am Black 365 days out of the year. Let me see who's up in here. I see Pastor Alex is in here. Camille Jones, good morning to you. I see Adrian coming in from YouTube. I see Shirley Nicholson, Kim Edmondson, good morning. I see Robert Holman, Shardinia, Lori, Tracy Burrs. What's up, girlfriend? How are you? Kenny Stanley is also in the green room, but he's on here. What's up, Latrice Jones and Fred Jones rolling up in here? I also see Marion Jackson. So good morning to all of you. I see my brother just popped in here as well, Louis Pryor the third. I see Dr. Antoinette. Good morning to you. Y'all, we have a lot of news. We have a lot that's going on. So I'm not going to hold you too long. But I want to say this about that. Have y'all been watching the news? Like, seriously. Latrice Jones said, come through, sister, blackety black. I was going to get my black ring and stuff. And I said, okay, let me not do too much. I see Devontae. He's also in the green room as well. We just have a lot that's going. That's right, Fred Jones, Black Power. I rewatched Benjamin Crump's speech from the NAACP Image Awards. And I don't know how I missed this the first time, but he talked about we was going to fight until hell freezes over. And then he said, get ready to fight on the ice. I'm like, did he just break that down that way? I missed the ice part on Saturday night, but I was glad to watch the replay. And if you missed it, believe me, BET gonna play it over all week long, the entire segment. So make sure you check that out. A lot is going on, y'all. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but I was sharing in the green room that I must say I'm proud of the News in Motion team. I'm proud of the work that we are doing, and I'm excited about the work that we are doing. I don't know if you've watched the news, wherever you are in the U.S. Y'all, news that we reported even on February the 14th about Ron DeSantis. Everybody want to talk about it yesterday. I was like, I think y'all a little late. But, we got to get people to understand that although that we are not on a national platform, we are still bringing you information that is changing the world, is changing the landscape. I pray that you all are receiving it, y'all. So with that, y'all, seriously, it may end for everybody else today, but it's just really our beginning as to where we're headed as Black people in America. And that speech again from Attorney Benjamin Crump really spoke to me. Y'all, we have to keep fighting. We cannot allow them to erase our history. We cannot do that. And with that, we have a special report from Devontae Goins. So I'll be right back.
Show that focuses on our issues, our concern, our stories, our voices, and our perspectives.
It's less than 20 people. So everybody want to scream on social media about how Black Lives Matter, but no one's
And when you only report one side of the story, that's not reporting.
Right.
And that happens way too much in with our major media establishments in this town. It's like,
Good morning, News in Motion family, to all the listeners and the viewers out there. It's the last day of Black History Month, and because of that, as you all know, if you've been watching or listening throughout the month, you know that the News in Motion team and Miss Gail Dudley, they have been paying tribute to some of the Black history figures, and just letting you know what our history is and what it's about, our real history, that is. And so today, without further ado, when the team asked me to come on, they said, Devontae, when you get into the green room, all Miss Gail knows about is you're doing a special report. She doesn't know why or anything like this. And so I couldn't be happier to come on today and to pay tribute on this last day for the rest of the world, not us here at News in Motion, but to pay tribute on this last day of Black history to the News in Motion team, but not only the News in Motion team, but to the News in Motion founder and host herself, Miss Gail Dudley. So if you're watching on Facebook, please hit the heart buttons for her today, because Miss Gail Dudley, she's been doing this effortlessly and tirelessly over the last 3+ years, getting up early in the morning. When I'm headed to bed, she's getting up to prepare for the news of the day for you. And as you just heard, she she always is way ahead of what all of mainstream media is telling you, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and so on, especially with the Ron DeSantis thing and so many others. So what if you don't know what News in Motion is, let me tell you a little bit about News in Motion with Gail. It's a grassroots and aggregate news outlet sharing relevant commentary and a call to action mixed with an inspirational message. And while we are all here for the news, I'm sure a lot of us, we stick around to the very end for that inspirational message, because it's still a word from Gail. The entire show is straight fire, but those inspirational messages really be straight fire, as Gail would say. And so everybody today, if you could all just do me a little favor, I'm gonna do it, but just help me out and go hit up the Cash App. I don't know if Isaiah and the rest of the producers could help me out by putting up the Cash App sign. Thank you so much. Hit up the Cash App for the News in Motion family and Miss Gail Dudley, and send them a couple dollars to show your appreciation for them. Her Cash App is $MIM today. It's $MIM today. Just $2-3, enough to buy a cup of coffee, some lunch, because I mean, she drinks a lot of coffee, whether she admits it or not. Getting up at 3 in the morning to prepare for a morning show is not easy, and we love her and love the team for all that they do in bringing us the news. And I was in the green room ahead of time when she was going down the rundown for today. Let's just say she has a jam-packed, on fire show for you today. So Isaiah, could you bring her back in, Miss Gail?
Thank you.
Hey, look, we appreciate you. We love you. And I just wanted to make sure, as well as your team, that you really knew that and understood it. And I'm looking over here on the another monitor right now, and the chat is going crazy with heart emojis and things like that over on Facebook and on YouTube as well. And I'm sure the listeners are going crazy as well. And I'm sure you'll get the chats and the emails and things as well.
Well, thank you. We want to support your show as well, Unboss Columbus, and all the work that you are doing as well. But thank you so much for coming on here this morning under the disguise of special report. Absolutely appreciate you and your work. Thank you for the partnership that we have, and giving us like special reports from East Palestine and others. And as you and I have talked, we see that growing as well. So we're just here doing the work. And Devontae, you and I have talked about this one-on-one. If we could just get our people to understand that national media is great and we do glean from them and we get from them, but shows like ours and others in the same digital platform, we're really bringing some serious content that some people on national platforms aren't even allowed to give you because of the politics within their media outlets. So hopefully people will catch on and start coming to hear what we have to say. But hey, we'll take the 2 or 3 that are gathered together, right?
Right. Definitely will do. And I mean, whether you admit it or not, this is what Black media is all about, and why viewers flock to your show day in and day out. Is not only do you give the facts, but they tune in for your commentary and your take on the stories as well. And like you just said, a lot of outlets can't. Hint, point in case, Fox News right now, whether I want to admit them or lean towards them or not, case in point, what they're going through right now.
Yeah, right. Which we knew all along, but he just had to say it in his deposition that, okay, yeah, I admit that we did this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Devontae. Thank you. I appreciate you dearly.
All right. You're welcome, and have a great rest of the show.
Thank you. Y'all, in today's news, I now messed up a little bit, so give me a minute to get back on track with everything that he just said. Again, I just want to thank him and the team for all the work that they're doing. So in the news, we have blizzards, we have winter weather, we have tornadoes, we have a year's worth of rain in one day in California. But all this weather is like in reverse. It's like in Ohio, we got 50s and 60s and tornadoes, and in California, like San Diego, 12 feet of snow, and they're expecting an additional 12 feet of snow. They can't even dig out of where they are. So y'all, let's pay attention to all this. Yesterday, and Deborah and I was talking back and forth via text, and then we picked up the phone. I was working on the script for today, and all of a sudden, my house got really dark, and it's like 3:30 maybe, and I'm like, why is it dark in here? So I get up to turn on the light, and then immediately I hear the tornado sirens. I was like, what in the world is going on here? So y'all, listen, things are happening. We need to pay attention to that as well. So with that, we want to bring in Kenny Stanley real quick with Game Over.
Hey, NewsInMotion family, good morning. Welcome to Game Over with me, Kenny Stanley. Hey, are y'all getting tired of basketball yet? I told y'all Saturday it was getting ready to heat up. I'm almost basketballed out already. Matter of fact, I didn't even want to watch a game last night, but I did. But in the college basketball, like I said, on the men's side, North Carolina, they improved their record to 19-11 by beating Florida State last night, 77-66. And now they got to play well in the ACC tournament just to see if they're going to get put into the NCAA tournament. Right now, they're one of the 4 teams that's looking to be the first 4 out. So we got to see what's going to happen. If they play well in the tournament, they will make the NCAA tournament. West Virginia is in the same boat as North Carolina, but they're in the same boat in the Big 12. West Virginia trying to punch their ticket, and they won last night by beating Iowa State 72-69. Number 7, Baylor, we don't have to really worry about them because they're one of the teams picked to win it all. So we have to see if they'll win the national championship. But they won last night over topping Oklahoma State 74-68. In the NBA, it's also heating up. The Miami Heat slid past my 76ers last night. That's 2 losses in a row. Come on, Philly. But they slid past my 76ers last night, 101-99. James Harden missed the shot at the buzzer. It bounced off the back of the rim, which would have gave the Sixers the win, but it didn't happen. Sorry, Sixers, but y'all got to get it together. The New York Knicks, they beat the Boston Celtics last night, 109-94. And with that being said, we all know that injuries happen in sports, period. But the injury bug has bitten LeBron James. The last 5 seasons, he has been injured and hasn't played in 98 games. That's 5 seasons, 98 games, compared to his first 15 seasons in the NBA, where he only missed 71 games total. That's a lot. The injury bug done bit, and it's feared that LeBron is going to miss several weeks with a foot injury after hearing a pop in his foot Sunday in their comeback win versus the Mavs. Now the question is, can Anthony Davis keep the Lakers ship rolling? Because they're only really 2 games out of a 6 seed. Can he keep the game rolling, or will Anthony Davis revert back to what happens to him because he's been injury prone since he's been in the league? So we got to see if Anthony Davis can keep this train rolling, along with the added new pieces that the Lakers done put together. They look good, but we got to see if they can keep the train rolling until LeBron gets back. He's looked to be missed several weeks, like I said. So we just going to have to wait and see. Hey, the NFL Combine starts this week, and we got to see what's going to happen there. I do believe the linemen are there on Thursday, defense on Friday, quarterbacks on Saturday. Then you got the running backs and the defensive backs on Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see. And like I said, we're going to see what's going to happen in the NCAA come Sunday when all the brackets are put out there and see where everybody's at. And then when the brackets are put out there, March Madness begins. And we're going to be really overloaded with basketball starting next Thursday. Hey, that's sports. It's game over. Back to Gail for more news.
Thank you so much, Kenny, for that report.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate
Kenny
you
is also
too.
moving instead of Wednesdays to Thursday, so he can give us a heads up of what's going into the weekend. So we'll see him right back here on Thursday. Thank you, Kenny. Have a great day. I
appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Council on Foreign Affairs. Let me see if I can get all this in here in the time that we have remaining. So let's go. The World Food Program said the flights in the Democratic Republic of Congo were suspended after unidentified assailants attacked a UN humanitarian air service helicopter on Friday. So that's happening, y'all. Yes, it is. That's happening Tuesday. Y'all, Mexicans stage nationwide protests against cuts in the election agency. Over 100,000 people in more than 100 cities staged a demonstration against a newly passed law to cut the elections agency's budget. It is expected to be challenged in the Mexico Supreme Court. Y'all, in U.S. and Brazil, we're having this situation. U.S. climate change envoy John Kerry arrived in Brazil on Sunday for climate talks with top Brazilian government officials. Discussion will focus on this whole transition to clean energy, among other issues. They need to do something real quick because we had tornadoes yesterday that didn't make any sense. Y'all, what we were talking about when Devontae was on, Murdoch admits Fox host endorsed false election fraud claims. We knew that already, but thanks so much for being honest. Did you have a dream at night? Did Jesus come visit you or something and say, hey, tell the truth? I don't know. We just glad you did. But the rest of the world knew this. Anyway, Rupert Murdoch stated under oath that Fox News hosts, including Sean Hannity and Janine Perot, and had endorsed these claims that the 2020 election was stolen according to illegal filing by Dominion voting systems. They're coming for you. He goes on to say in a quote, I would have liked us to be stronger in denouncing it in hindsight. Yeah, okay. He goes on to say that Dominion has a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit pending against Fox over the claims, but Fox remains that they are going to be newsworthy and they're going to fix it. So yesterday, all on their news sources, they started coming out saying, "Oh, if you misunderstood us, we knew." Clean that up. But remember, we have the tapes of you saying what you said. So just go on and own it. Now, as they should. Y'all, the news outlets, speaking of Fox, have demanded access, including NewsInMotion, to the January 6th footage given to Tucker Carlson by Kevin McCarthy. Several major media organizations and News in Motion, and I'm sure Devontae with Unboss has as well, have demanded access to the thousands of hours of video recorded inside the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection, after the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, handed it over to Fox News' Tucker Carlson. Attorney Charles Tobin, representing the outlets, said, I can't afford him, but anyway, if they get him, I'm sure we'll get him too, said full public access to the footage is needed to complete the historical record. And that's coming from HuffPost. Dr. Antoinette said news from Fox call it what it is, propaganda. There, boom, mic drop for sure. Kim Edmondson, glad you finally told the truth. Yeah, somebody, we all knew the truth. Kenny Stanley, release the footage. Got that right. Release it. Now, as I said earlier, and I got to slip this back in here for those of you who just are joining us, on February the 14th, 2023, on News in Motion, I reported about Governor Ron DeSantis and Disney. Well, now everybody else is talking about, and if you missed it, let me just give you a recap real quick. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that gives him control to Walt Disney World's self-governing district, pretty much punishing the company over its opposition to the so-called Don't Say Gay law. Now, in 1967, the area was designated by Florida lawmakers as the Reedy Creek Improvement District. The Reedy Creek Act gave Disney nearly complete control over taxation, codes, and services, and was supervised by five-member board appointed by the company. Well, that's all changed, y'all. The new bill now will not abolish the district as was proposed in April, but instead, this was April last year, but instead hand over power to the district to the governor effective June the 1st. Now, side note, y'all, side note, no one should have this much power. No one. The president of the United States don't have this much power. So why does Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, have this much power? These are the questions we need to be asking. Now, as he gears up for his presidential run, remember this. Remember this. Okay, y'all? Come on, seriously? No one should have this much power. This is the governor that is single-handedly erasing Black history from the schools and from the bookshelves in Florida. Let's not forget about Governor Abbott in Texas doing the same thing. Now, I've been giving y'all books all month. Today, I'm going to give you my own. This is the magazine, Ready Publication. Y'all get this. Go to readypublication.com. No S. Readypublication, no S.com. And order this. Now, this never expires. It came out in September for the midterm elections in 2022, but this information never expires. This is the full magazine, not the resource guide. You can get the resource guide free on my website when you subscribe for the e-newsletter. But y'all get this. There's all the articles in here. They never expire. Read them, get an understanding, and the resource guide is included in this as well. But check this out, y'all. It's there. For those of you who did not do the survey yesterday on GailDudley.com, the e-news that went out, please do it. You have until Friday. Everybody who completes it, their names will go into a drawing, and we will be pulling out one name for the $25 Visa gift card. I will say this about the survey. Y'all are responding. And I'm like, well, I guess all we needed to do is ask. But we love the support and what you're saying, the information. I found out that people want to sponsor News in Motion and the e-newsletter. I was like, I had no idea. And so it says to me that there's so much content that we're putting out that people are not reading all the way to the end. So we're learning something from that. So thank you, team, for getting me to do that as well. Dr. Antoinette says if he basically abolishes the district, does that mean Disney can say, okay, then we're not paying the bills anymore? Well, there's that. That's a great question. Mike says, I keep telling y'all he's going to try to enact and reactivate slavery laws. Watch. I hope that's not the case, but I hear you. So y'all, a lot is happening. We have to pay attention. I thought I would not bring back out voting until right about May or June. That's not going to work. We need to start talking about that now because there's so much that's happening. And we, as we're going into Women's History Month next month, I want us to be very intentional about registering people to vote. All right, let me keep going since we're talking about voting. Y'all Chicagoans, They're voting today for their next mayor. And it doesn't look good for Mayor Lori Lightfoot. It doesn't look good for her. If she does not win, she will be the first time an incumbent Chicago mayor fails to win re-election in 3 decades. Now, y'all, everybody's focused on her with the crime rate. But I'm going to say this about that. Crime rate is going up everywhere. And I'm not sure you can put all of that on a mayor or governor or commissioner. I believe you have to look at what's happening in its entirety. But her track record with everything else is amazing. So as you go to vote in Chicago, consider all angles and not just a soundbite or what people are going to promise you they're going to do. She's done a lot of cleanup there. I don't have a nickel in the quarter, but I just want you all to know, read the information. Y'all can go to ballotpedia.org when it comes to the Chicago mayor to look up and see what's happening there and look at the record of everyone who's running for that office. Y'all don't just go in there with a popularity contest to vote for somebody. Make a decision as to who's going to be the best person to run that office. Y'all talking about politics, the Texas judge, y'all, this is happening too. The Texas judge who could take down the abortion pill is a religious conservative with a long history of anti-abortion beliefs. His name is Matthew Kosmicki. He will soon rule on a lawsuit that seeks to undo decades of old government approval of a key abortion medication. His decision could halt, I want y'all to hear that, could halt most abortions, even in Democratic-led states. I want y'all to pay attention. Remember, this is talking about setting a precedent. Now, we may think, oh, well, you know, I'm not for abortions anyway. Okay, you cannot be for abortions, but also think the ramifications when something is set as a precedent, it can then trickle down to other areas. We have to stop just reacting and read the documents to understand what's about to take place. Hold on, I'm getting ready to show you an example in just a couple seconds. Y'all, but anyway, in the highlighting the broad powers that can be wielded by a lone federal judge. Y'all, this is very concerning. Again, read the entire thing. I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I'm giving you the information so that you can have an educated understanding of what's happening. Mike Nicholson says, I was just in Chicago and bumped into Jesus Chewy, who's racing. What? I think he did that wrong. Can you imagine Mayor Jesus is joining us on News in Motion today? Okay, let's bring him in. All right, y'all, let's keep our eyes on the Supreme Court. I told y'all yesterday is happening today. Today, the fate of the Biden administration student loan forgiveness plan and the monthly budget of tens of millions of Americans rest on oral arguments that the Supreme Court will hear today. Given the court's 6-3 conservative majority, many legal experts sees a tough road ahead for everybody else. And this is for a $430 billion, that's with a B, debt relief program. Now, the conservative Supreme Court of the United States have reigned in Biden's executive power multiple times already. And now that Speaker McCarthy is over Congress, you know, they're really coming for him. Yeah, they're trying to throw out the administration's eviction moratorium in large business, vaccination or testing requirements to significantly dampen the EPA's power to fight climate change. All of this is happening, y'all, when it should not be happening. But let's just talk about what they're going to hear and who's on what side. Well, there are 2 legal challenges to debt cancellation. One from 6 Republican-led states: Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and South Carolina. Let's just put those out there. Now, and another from 2 Texas borrowers backed by conservative advocacy group. But before the Supreme Court of the United States can issue a ruling on the Biden administration's constitutional authority to cancel debt, it must first decide if these challengers, that means 7 people, no, that's 8 people, if these challengers have the standing to sue, if any of them are specifically harmed by debt cancellation. And from my research, they're not. So let's just give you the receipts. Y'all know I like to do research, and I'm going to give y'all the numbers, and I got the graphs and everything else I'm going to show you. Kim Edmonds says, thank you so much for this information. Listen, y'all, the PPP, how much y'all think they spent on that? 800 billion with a B. We talking 430 billion for loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. Excuse me. And this number comes from the National Bureau of Economic Research. That ain't enough. I wanted to know, well, how much y'all giving Ukraine? I found a chart on Ukraine. Yes, I did. 76.8 billion before this last visit. And y'all know there's some more billions on top of that. Let me break that down. And hey, I want to support Ukraine. I have no problem with you supporting Ukraine. Have no problem with you supporting the people who will never pay back because they don't have to. The $800 billion for PPP loans. Y'all, who was it that bought a yacht with, and got a PPP loan? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Anyway, that's what's happening. So here's the humanitarian for Ukraine. 3.9 billion, which is 5% humanitarian for Ukraine. Financial, 26.4 billion. That's 4 billion. That's 34%. Security assistance. I'm like, well, what y'all need security assistance for? Didn't we send y'all the bombs, the fighting military stuff? And what's this for? But y'all, that's 18.6 billion. That's 24%. Weapons and equipment. Well, isn't that the same as security assistance? Well, they get 23.5 billion for that. That's 31%. Grants and loans for weapons and equipment. So wait a minute, you giving Ukraine grants and loan money? What? Help me understand what that is. Y'all, that's 4.7 billion. That's 6%. Well, then we got the military total, which is 46.6 billion. That's 61%. What? This don't even add up to 100%. It exceeds 100%. So help me understand what this is all about. And you gonna argue about some student loan forgiveness of people who can't even get the jobs to pay back their student loans? And don't say we got all kinds of jobs opening. Yeah, we get it. But you want someone with 3 master's degrees to work at McDonald's? Like, help me understand this. Help me add this up. Help me even this out, Supreme Court. But here's the problem. Because we're not thinking and connecting all the dots together, we have a Supreme Court that's a 6-3. Why? Because there were other people who got in there who shouldn't have got in there because of popularity, because they wanted to shift the Supreme Court. Y'all, when we vote, we got to consider all the dots connected to this and not just a few. Marion is saying the cancellation of student loan debt would give Black and brown people financial help, which is why they are arguing about the debt relief. You're right about that. And don't forget, we have people that's sitting in the chamber every day that took out PPP loans. They don't have to pay it back, but they're the same ones arguing not to give the people that have student loans debt relief. That's happening. We know you. We know who you are. Y'all remember I called their names out a long time ago. And if I need to dig them back out to call them back out, I'll do it again. For real. Already, we need to deal with this. All right, y'all, with all this that's going on, y'all, George Santos lied to a judge about working for Goldman Sachs. Dude, you might need to get into some sort of therapy session and get to the root of your lies. You lied to a judge. So here's the question. Why are you still in the chamber voting for stuff that we need when you lie every day? You lied to a judge. Yeah. He lied to a Seattle judge about working for Goldman Sachs during a 2017 court appearance. The New York Republican did not appear to be under oath at the time. Well, how can you lie to a judge and not be under oath? Make that make sense, somebody. This is all happening on this happening Tuesday. Make that make sense. How can you not be under oath and you sitting next to the judge with your hand raised and you're giving your deposition or your argument or answering questions? Help me understand that. Help me make that make sense, somebody. All right, y'all. Elon Musk, here he comes. He's responding, defending Dilbert, the cartoonist. He calls the media racist. That's what Elon said. After outlets removed racist Dilbert creator cartoons, Twitter CEO Elon Musk questioned why people were complaining. He is. He says about a racist remark made by the cartoon creator of Dilbert. Then he deleted his tweet. We already seen it. Dude, you run the thing. Don't you know that when you post something, it goes to the Library of Congress? Did you not know that? Everything you post on Twitter goes to the Library of Congress. Did you not know that? Because it's considered content, which goes to the Library of Congress. Dude, you didn't know that? Why'd you buy something you know about? And then furthermore, Elon, people want you so bad, they are taking screenshots of what you tweeted. So it didn't go away. Your tweet is out there and it's circulating all over the place. Dude, too late. Y'all, he just went off. And he went on to say that I'm not going to condemn Scott Adams' remarks about Black people. And I'm going to tweet, however, about that we should be supporting him. Dude, aren't you from South Africa? You do know you a minority too, right? In the U.S. I just want to know if you know that. You are a minority in the U.S. Right? Yeah. South Africa. Yeah, that's what you are. So you might want to slow your roll there. You might. Well, y'all want to end today with a very nice inspirational message. You may have heard of this story. Kim Edmondson says, in my best Fred Sanford voice, you big dummy. Something. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you? I see you, Dr. Latrice Washington, coming in here. Lori says, you are doing the thing today. That's happening, sis. Listen. Y'all know I get pumped up about news and politics and everything that's going on. And when I start connecting these dots and seeing what's happening, I'm like, God, give me the strength to get this information out to everyone so that it makes sense, so they can laugh and enjoy it, but at the same time say, that's happening. Let me get a part of this and fix this, y'all. We all need to be working together to make these things happen. So, y'all, I saw this story and I need to share this. So the inspirational message today is to have a heart. I want all of us to have a heart. And the Guardian reported this story, and you may have seen this already, but I think it's the most beautiful story, but I also see a political component to this as well. So here's the story directly quoted out of the Guardian. After an 80-year-old janitor had returned to work after his rent was increased, Texas high school students raised more than $250,000 to help him go back into retirement. Y'all, high school students. Y'all, the janitor, known to the students as Mr. James, returned to work in January after his rent shot up an additional $400 a month. First of all, the political component there, no way. You should be charging an 80-year-old man $400 additional dollars for his rent. That is robbery. And you should be ashamed of yourself for even increasing his rent to that degree. Seriously, he has paid his dues, which also begs to ask this question. What are we doing with Social Security? What are we doing with taking care of our seniors? What are we doing with pensions? What are we doing with all of these older people, these elderly people who have paid in to all of these services all year, for their lifetime, as soon as they got a job? My father and I have had those questions before. He was like, and my father, believe it or not, he has kept every paycheck stub. We were going through things when my mom was really sick in the rehab center. And he was like, but look, I paid this. Look, can you add these up? I'm like, I ain't sitting here adding up all these paycheck stubs, because there were thousands of paycheck stubs. And we should do better when it comes to our veterans and our seniors. We have to do better. But no, Congress wants to focus on Biden Hunter's laptop and trying to impeach everybody just because they mad. Well, what y'all going to do now that Rupert Murdoch said has blown y'all's cover and said it's all fraud and that the election was fair and balanced? Now, what's your tagline? What's your narrative now? Let me keep going with the story. According to, and this is KDFW in Dallas, the students at Calisbury High School, about 80 miles north of Dallas, started their campaign last week and shared it on TikTok. Y'all, TikTok is the way to go, to raise $10,000. They were only trying to raise $10,000 to help him out to pay his rent this year. But as of Friday afternoon, this past Friday, it had reached over $270,000 from more than 8,000 donors. They say in a quote, when I saw him in the hallway, it broke my heart. This is Grayson Thurman, who's a senior who started the campaign. He says in a quote, nobody at that age should be working. They should be living the rest of their life, you know. Well, Mr. James has declined the interview with outlets. He says that he's just surprised. And then this was the quote that they got from Mr. James. He said, dang, that's all right, when he heard about how much money they had raised. So, y'all, the students helped launch this campaign. I believe it ended this past Friday. It may still be up, but they said this story of the janitor has underscored the severe financial barriers older Americans face. So back to the title of this inspirational message, y'all. Have a heart. We need to have a heart in this season of our lives. Y'all, stop looking, thinking, oh, they'll be okay, or oh, they got children. Nowhere in this story does it say this man has any family. Here was a high school senior, Grayson Thurman, who said, what are you doing here? And when he found out, you know, they say, if y'all remember this, they say, you know, the janitors, those are people you want to be friends with. First of all, they know everything because they hear everything, they see everything, they know everything, and they can help you. They can help you in ways you have no idea. They can help you. Y'all, we have to start having a heart, especially now. There's so much that's going on. We have to have a heart. We have to look at every angle. Yesterday, I talked about fix me. Y'all, it comes back to you. Fix me, Lord. Fix me. Fix me. Fix my heart. May I have a heart to serve other people. Fix me so that I can help. Let me see those who are food insecure. Y'all know that's my thing. Let me see those who are hurting when they really want to go back to school and complete their education, but they don't know how to complete financial aids, or they don't want to have these crazy loans at the end, but I have a couple extra dollars. Can I support? I'm going to go a step further. I've been sharing with y'all all month Black businesses, Black authors, Black artists. Y'all sow a seed. Do you know when we sow a seed, we get it back tenfold, pressed down, shaken together, and running over? That's what we do. The other day, I saw Al Edmondson's post, his birthday post, and I want us to give to him as well. Make a difference. The work that he's doing in the inner city of Columbus, Ohio, and beyond is phenomenal. The work he's doing is phenomenal. Immediately, I saw that. I said, okay, let me give, because I believe in investing in the work of other people, especially Black and brown people. Yeah, I'm biased because I am Black 365 days out of the year. Y'all, also the work that's being done. There's young students out there. They're basketball teams, football teams, baseball teams, or whatever. When y'all see things like that, y'all don't be embarrassed. If you got $2, send $2. If you have $5, send $5. If you can cut off 100, send 100. Whatever that is, don't just ignore these cries. Don't do that, please. Y'all, have a heart. We don't know where people are today. Yeah, egg prices are coming down, but other things are going up. They're increasing. So y'all, let's have a heart. All right, y'all, this was a full day, y'all. That's Happening Tuesday. Thanks again to Devontae. I don't know if y'all saw, I had some tears coming down my eyes. Thank you so much for that. That's a blessing. Y'all, Black media is making an impact. And we're keeping things in the forefront when the regular media outlets are keeping things close or they're ignoring them. We're the people that are out here putting it out here for all of you to see. And if you want to send a check to Al Edmondson for making a difference, you can send it to that address. You can also send a check to that address and put in the memo section News in Motion, because they are our fiduciary agent. So check that out as well. One last thing about the Black news media. Isaiah has been diligent talking about shadow banning. I don't know if he has a presentation for us tomorrow or not. He'll let me know when I go into the green room. But listen, sponsors want to silence us. And I'm talking about the sponsors of these corporations. They want to silence us. So our work comes from all of you who could help us. So if you have, in your journey, you're like, I really like the work that Gail Dudley's doing with News in Motion, sow a seed. Again, the Cash App, we can put that up there again, Isaiah. The Cash App is M as in Mary, I, M as in Mary today. Or if you want to contact me directly and say, how can I send you a check or something else, we could get that to you as well. But y'all sponsors, when I talk with sponsors, and I talk with them several times a week, and they're like, well, we like this, but we want you not to say this. We like this, but we want, and I cannot agree to that because that will water down the facts that I'm giving to you. So we do need your support. So again, thank you, Devontae, and to the team to have him come on this morning to share that. I sit back and go, what's happening? But then I'm like, I'm grateful. I've learned to say thank you. So thank you once again, Devontae and Unboss. Y'all can check him out, Unboss Columbus at 8 p.m. I believe it's Monday through Friday. And also he has other special reports that comes on it. Well, I want to thank Isaiah for all the amazing work that he's doing on this Black History Month and beyond. I want to thank Kenny Stanley with everything he's doing with Game Over. I want to thank Deborah Johnson with everything she's doing with Right from the Heart. She did not show yesterday because of the weather and the internet connection. So we want to thank her as well for the work that she's doing. And I am excited to say that the majority of my team, 99% of the team, they are Black people. I pride myself on doing that. And I want to continue to do that. I'm currently looking for a Black crew for something else that I'm working on. But all of these things are rolling out. If you want to stay up to date with everything that we're doing, make sure you subscribe to the e-newsletter, which is, you can subscribe at www.gaildudley.com. It's on the homepage. It has a vote image on the side of it. Just subscribe. It's free. You get nothing but content. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.